Salt Lake, Kimberly, Andrew Holenchuk, how you doing, pal? Good to see you, man. Mary Prince, Kentucky, Prince, interesting last name. Nicole, good to see you, Nicole. Joe, Amy, Rick Brown. Hey, Rick, good to have you. Kimberly, Andrew Holenchuk, how you doing, pal? Good to see you, man. Mary Prince. There we go. And perfect. Okay, so let's get into it. Keep in mind, there are some pretty cool gifts near the end, so make sure to stick around. I'll do a Q&A as well, so definitely stick around until the end. We're going to get going. So, live campaign setup that converts like crazy. So, without high-performing campaigns, nobody will sign up and buy, and that makes me sad. So as I said, if you stay until the end, then give you a crazy offer, give you some bonuses worth over 5K. We got a special one we've never given away at the end today. We're going to give away as well. And that whole Q&A. So there's existing customers on the call here too. If you're one of those, this offer is almost likely relevant for you as well. So new customers, people are just checking us out. People are trying to get some free value. That's cool as well. Type one into the chat if everybody's ready to rock and roll, and then let's get started. One. Perfect. Kevin, Emandeep, Jeremy, Brett. Oh, hey, Brett. I just saw your email a little while ago. Kirk, Eris, Rick. Hey, Rick. Okay, so little housekeeping, upcoming webinars. We're on the live campaign setup one, which is today. Ads that convert like crazy is going to be on December 30th, or as I like to call it, New Year's Eve. Keywords that convert like crazy is January 6th. And then landing pages that convert like crazy, January 13th. So what's possible when it comes to Google Ads? So this is a screenshot of a campaign I've been running for my real estate company since the first quarter of 2011. So it's basically endless leads at $1.11 US, which is about $1.50 Canadian. So these are full sign up leads, meaning first name, last name, email, and cell phone number with permission to text and email. So these are very inexpensive leads from a real estate perspective. The average commission in that particular market's 10 grand. So average revenue, if you're not in real estate, just the average revenue the agent would collect for doing the deal would be 10,000, and the leads are costing $1.11 each. So it's a really good return. This is another campaign. It's been running since the fourth quarter of 2017. This one's got an 18 times return on investment. So I put 26.5 in, and it's pushed out 500,000 in revenue to myself. So basically, every dollar in turns into $18.70. So I got a question for everybody who I want to answer in the chat. If you had a money machine that if every dollar you put into it, $18.70 came out, what would you do? Put into the chat. All in, Andrew, for sure. Repeat. Oh, Raj, hey, man. Kimberly, add more. Yeah, I would put all the money in, and then I would borrow money from other people and put that in for sure. So this is my results with a particular campaign. This is real estate focused, this particular slide here. So if you're not in real estate, it's still relevant, but I'll explain what the numbers mean. So 155 transactions, 122 million in volume, so sales for real estate. And that was 1.69 million in GCI. Many returns, times return on investment. This is technically what's possible. You have to have sales skills to do this, but getting the lead is kind of the first step. So yeah, this is sort of the holy grail. So who knows who I'm standing with in this picture? Type into the chat if anybody can guess who this is. Kirk, you're so fast. Alex. And then Brett abbreviates AH, Alex Hormozy, right? Mickey, Alex, for sure. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to go spend the whole day with him back in August in his acquisition.com headquarters in Vegas. Really great guy. Really funny, like unbelievably funny, and crazy jacked. Like you can tell he's muscular, but in real life, it's kind of preposterous. So if you want to learn some strategies on, oops, on how we 1,200 times our advertising spend, how we won the school games in August and became the largest Google Ads community on school and turned 92,000 in ad spend into 118 million in sales, then definitely watch today's webinar. So type into the chat what industry you're in. I want to get an idea of who's here industry-wise. Real estate, Raj, Jeffrey, real estate, Joe, Brett, lots of real estate for sure. Fantastic. Well, then the campaign I'm going to set up is going to be real estate focused for sure. Tons of real estate. Commercial, Kimberly, awesome. Cool. So let's create a campaign. So I'm going to jump into my Google Ads and I'm just going to start a campaign from scratch and just walk you through exactly how I do it. So there we go. So type a 2 into the chat if everybody can see my dashboard here in Google Ads. I just want to make sure. 2, perfect. Kurt, Kimberly, fantastic. So this is just the dashboard of Google Ads account. To create a campaign, there's a couple ways. There's this button right here. It says new campaign, or in the upper left-hand corner, there's a create button. So either of these are fine. So I'm going to click this one here. It's going to allow me to create one of these things. Campaign's the one that I'm going to do. So then it gives me an objective. So what's like my objective for this campaign? Do I want traffic to my website? Do I want sales, like an e-commerce sale where they actually make the purchase? Or do I want leads? This is going to be a real estate one, so we want leads. And a lead to me is first name, last name, cell phone number, and email. That's a lead to me. I want all of that information because I want to be able to call and text them. So I'd click lead. It's going to scroll down to using conversion goals to improve your leads. There's going to be account level ones that are automatic here. If you have one here that isn't relevant, so signups is relevant for my real estate campaigns, but submit lead forms isn't, you just click here, click remove, and it's going to remove that particular conversion as a goal. So it's going to optimize, not optimize for that one and try to accomplish it. So if you don't have a conversion action, you can just continue here and it'll ask you to set a goal. Or it'll let you just keep going. You can always go back and set up conversion tracking later. That's another video, another thing altogether. It can get in the weeds a little bit, but just continue through here, click continue, and then it's going to scroll you down to the campaign type. So our objective was leads, and our campaign type is either search, performance max, demand gen, display, shopping, or video. I'm not going to get into the details of what they all are. Just know that the majority of the campaigns people are going to want to create is search. A search campaign is when you search on Google and you search, home sales or home prices in Vancouver, and then an ad shows up in text. That is a search ad. It's a sponsored search ad. So we're going to click search. I'm going to scroll down to select the ways you'd like to reach your goal. I'm going to click campaign. I'm going to click website visits. I'm going to just grab a URL here. So this is just your website. It doesn't have to be the landing page. It can be just the home page of the website. And then you can continue on and change that later. So you click there, you click continue. And then campaign name, name it whatever you want. Let's just keep this one as the default, but you can use whatever naming conventions that you want. Click continue. I'm going to say start new because I've got a bunch in draft, of course. So here's the actual campaign setup. So we're starting with bidding. So it says, what do you want to focus on? Most people are going to want conversions. If you don't have existing real estate conversions on this particular website already, you're not going to be able to select conversions because it isn't an option because there isn't any conversions to optimize for. Regardless of that, even if you have conversions optimized already, I almost always recommend starting with a conversion with a bidding strategy as clicks, also known as maximize clicks. Reason being is this going to likely give you clicks for much cheaper than the other bidding strategy because it's just looking for people that are willing to click your ad, not necessarily people that are willing to sign up. So this is a good way to test until you figure out the kind of customer avatar you want, and then you're willing to pay more per click as time goes on. So as of now, set it as clicks. I don't recommend setting a maximum cost per click bid limit. If you do that here and you put in whatever dollar amount you do, if it's too low, you won't get any impressions at all. So the people actually won't go ahead and sign up, or they won't go ahead and show up when the ad is shown. It actually won't show your ad because there's too many. There's not enough people. There's people bidding more is basically the way to explain that. So customer acquisition, bid for new customers only. We're going to leave that because that's a whole other thing. So clicks and bid for new customers only. So the strategy I'm going to talk about here is something called high keyword search volume and low competition. So this has been like the foundation of my success with Google Ads and real estate ads specifically. Is what I do is I actually find a keyword phrase that not many people search, lots and lots, the exact opposite of that. Lots and lots of people search, but not a lot of people compete on. A good example of that would be, let's say if you're in America, realtors on here will understand this. Zillow, the website Zillow has got tens of millions of page views, tens of millions of unique visitors per month. So tons and tons of people are searching, but most people aren't searching. Most people aren't bidding on it because you assume if somebody searches for Zillow, then they're actually looking for Zillow. So what we're going to do in this particular campaign is I'm going to bid on Zillow. And I'm going to craft my ad in a way where we're competitive. We're not going to need many, but if we get 5 or 10,000 people to click on our ad at a good cost per click and sign up on our website, it's going to be pretty powerful. So we're going to continue on. Clicks is the bidding strategy. Customer acquisition, we're going to leave this unchecked. We're going to click next. Right here is the campaign settings. By default, this Google Search Partners Network is on, and the Google Display Network is on as well. It says recommended here. What this does is this going to basically guarantee you get impressions, but in my opinion, it guarantees impressions outside of the search network, which I'm not interested in. The display network is basically image ads, so it has nothing to do with the search network. And then the Google Search Partners Network is your text ad will show up, but not on Google search. It'll show up somewhere else as well on about 3 million partner sites that Google has across the internet. I turn these off every time. It's a big mistake that most people make. They leave those on. So turn that off if you're doing a campaign like this. Let's say we're going to do a location like Los Angeles. Let's say Angeles. So we're going to choose that, include. So right now we're targeting 19.2 million that are in the Los Angeles area. We're going to leave it as English. We're going to leave audience segments off. We're going to leave broad match keywords automatically off. We're going to leave automatically created assets off. Those are just the assets that I'll show you a little bit later in the ad. We leave those off because it creates crappy ones in my opinion. So here's the section where it's actually going to allow you to create your ad. So this will use AI to write it if you want. I personally don't like the ad copy that this comes up with. So what I've done is I've created a tool that I allow people in the paid community to use. So I'm going to show you that tool real quick. So I call it Google Ads Builder. If you can think of a better name, Patrice and I, the community manager, are always looking for a better name. So all you have to do in this when you're creating an ad is you put your business name, you put about your business, you put pain points your business solves, and then you put a unique selling proposition. So I've input this already with a strategy where I'm going to go after Zillow traffic because in America, there's about 20.4 million average monthly searches with high search volume for Zillow and low competition because people aren't bidding on it because they think, well, why would I? People are just looking for Zillow. True, but they're looking for real estate and you sell real estate and you have a website that can capture them and show them real estate. So we put in these particular 4 points. We click generate ads. And then once you click generate ads, it's going to pump out 4 descriptions and 4 headlines. So you can see some of the descriptions it's put over already or headlines. See prices Zillow hides. I like that one. Off market homes here. Fast listing, slow Zillow. As you can see, what we're doing here is we're trying to interrupt people as they're looking for Zillow and give them a reason to click on our ad and go to our website, which is going to have a competitive advantage over Zillow. In most markets, Zillow doesn't update listings as fast as some of the IDX feeds for real estate sites. For instance, my site updates every 5 minutes and Zillow, I think, updates every day in that market. So that's a real good advantage to sell buyers. If it's a buyer's market to say, or sorry, if it's a seller's market and there's just a lot of, there's not a lot of stock wanting to know about the property in the morning versus the afternoon, it's often going to be sold by that time, right? So let's go back to the campaign. If you click generate here, it's going to generate your ad copy and your descriptions for you. I don't recommend it. Feel free to play around, but I prefer our tool because I've developed it with a prompt over the last 14 years of exactly what gets good response. So click skip. We're going to have the final URL as that URL I put in, so you can change it if you want. We're going to do Zillow. There we go. We're going to do Zillow as the keyword. If we did open bracket or not open bracket quotations on either side, that would be phrase match. This is broad match. If you're not familiar with what that is, just means it's going to capture more search volume in the beginning while we refine it. So we're going to hit Zillow. We're going to scroll down. And here's the actual ad. So here is the actual ad copy we're going to write. Here's the final URL that I typed in before. We're going to go back to the ad tool. We're going to grab some of these headlines. So C prices Zillow hides. I like that one. Here we go. C prices Zillow hides. We're going to go back to the tool. Off market homes here. We like that. Paste that. We need at least three headlines and at least two descriptions. The cool thing about this tool is it's going to give us all 15 of each, so 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. It's really up to you if you're going to use them all. I usually just go pick and choose. Sick of Zillow, use us too. I'm going to use that one because I'm curious how that would perform. And let's grab one more. Um, let's see here. Houses Zillow doesn't know. Don't wait, find out. Realty Group beats Zillow. Sick of Zillow. Quick buy, no waiting, fast listings. We show hidden homes. Fast listings, slow. Fast listings, slow Zillow. Makes me laugh. I like that. So let's do that one. And then let's grab a couple of the descriptions as well. So descriptions. So Realty Group get price, home prices not seen else or anywhere else. I would include that one. Scroll down. Go. And let's grab one more because you need at least 2. So every 5 minutes, new homes pop up out Realty Group. Realty Group's just obviously a generic name, but you could have your real estate group name in there. So boom. So we've got at least 3 headlines here, and we've got at least 2 descriptions. So that's what we need. We need at least 3 and at least 2. As you scroll down, you'll see images. You can add images here like pictures of yourself, pictures of your real estate team, whatever you think is going to make sense. I personally add pictures of my wife and myself just because she's really pretty and it converts really well. I've tested this over the years, and surprise, surprise, pretty girls get lots of clicks. So I recommend if you can do that, it definitely performs. You can include a business logo because I advertise on School, the platform. They allow me to use that logo. I can use my own logo. I can use my brokerage address or my brokerage logo, my real estate team logo, if you actually have a logo built there. And then site links. Site links is actually a really powerful one that I really, really like doing. A site link is basically when you see the ad right here, if there was anything below it and it was blue and it was hyperlinked, whenever you see an ad or you see an organic result, that's what a site link is. So they're free to use. And the cool thing is they make your ad bigger. So the bigger your ad is, the less space there is for other advertisers, meaning there's a more higher likelihood that somebody will click your ad. So if there's 4 advertisers, because there's enough space for 4 and you're one of the 4, then you have a whatever chance, depending on where you're placing. If your ad's too big and there's only room for 2 advertisers, that means that there's less space. So it's really, really, really powerful to use site links. So I recommend using a couple, 3 or 4, depending on what it is. If it's a real estate one, what I would do here is I would actually create specific pages. I would do search houses, and then I would have a description, check out houses not available on Zillow or off-market listings, VIP lists, something here, and then have a separate URL that is actually just houses on your website. So instead of just directing it to a page where it shows all listings, have one that shows all listings, even with a specific price range, perhaps. You could be search houses under 600K, search houses under $1 million, whatever makes sense for your particular market. And there's no guarantee that Zillow's going to show these particular site links here. Not Zillow, sorry. Google's going to show these site links. But if they're good and there's something that hooks the person who's searching, they will show them and they'll get a higher click-through rate. So the percentage of people that see the ad and then click through will be higher, which is really good for you because you want people to click your ad, of course. So let's scroll down a little further. Callouts are basically just a little text that's underneath where the description is. You can use them there. I feel like site links are really the best use of most people's time. And then there's also all these other assets. I'm not going to get into these on this call because it'll go into the weeds quite a bit. But the foundational things that I think are the best are really good offer, really good headline, really good description that's really compelling for what the person's searching. In this case, they're searching Zillow. So what are we trying to do? We're trying to give them some reasons to click our ad versus go to Zillow. And that's basically the goal of all of this. What you would do to finish this particular ad is you would scroll down, you would click next. Then you're going to choose your budget. So it'll give you a recommended budget based on whatever market you're in. So right now they're recommending 56 per day, which is about 393 Canadian per week. You can go lower, you can go higher. It's got a recommended amount, of course. I find in real estate, the best way is a $30 budget, $33 budget per day. You're willing to spend about $1,000 per month. After your campaign is set up really well, if it's set up properly, you should be able to earn that money back and get your first deal within the first 2 or 3 months, and then it's paid for. And then the whole year of advertising is paid for. Or sorry, the first 3 months is paid for, and then you can go forward with actually return on investment. So if I was going to complete this, I would go next, and then it's going to have a little publish. It's going to force me here to confirm. So I'm going to go on my phone here. It's going to show that. I'm going to confirm it. And I'm going to confirm that. Now it's going to allow me to publish if I want. So if I scroll down, I can check all the different particulars of whatever's there. And the next stage would just be to publish it. So I'm not going to publish this particular campaign because I don't want to run a campaign in Los Angeles. Let's jump back into this here. So in summary, from what I went over there, keyword research is critical. So if you get this right, you can have customers on tap. The keyword research is in the keyword tool in Google Ads. So you go into the keyword planner and you can just search how many people are searching particular keyword phrases. That's how I know how many people were searching Zillow. There's 20.4 million people searching Zillow in America every single month. So if I was an American realtor or American team, I would be doing Zillow for sure as a strategy. I've got a couple agents that I do that for, and it's doing really well because you're basically paying pennies for real estate leads that Zillow sells you for like $400 or $500 a piece. So it's a really great strategy to capture their audience. So you got to make the offer no-brainer. You got to make it an offer that you would feel stupid saying no to. So when it comes to Zillow, we're trying to interrupt people that are looking for Zillow. They know they're looking for Zillow. They've been there already. You need to have something pop up that says that questions their belief, that makes them question their beliefs. One of those would be that Zillow has all the listings. So if you have off-market listings or you have like a list of people that you know are going to start listing their property, you can use that as like a hook, or you can use that you have sold prices on your website. That's a big one. That's one that I've been using for many years. People sign up because they want to see what their neighbor's sold price is. Make the offer just absolutely a no-brainer, so they have to click that ad and they have to go sign up on your site. And also consider starting with maximize clicks as your bidding strategy to get impressions and clicks at rock bottom prices. Most people just try to go straight to conversions. It won't allow you if you don't have any conversions, of course, but maximize clicks is like this unsung hero. I've been using this strategy by starting with it for 14 years. I still do it. It never fails me. It allows me to optimize a campaign quickly. So remember what I promised in the beginning. So if you stayed until the end, I give you a crazy offer. I give you some bonuses worth 5K plus and a Q&A. As I said, this is for current and new customers. So let's jump into the private community. I'll just show you around. So this is the Google Ads Masterclass on School. So as you can see, there's a couple tabs at the top. The community is a community of people that are paying to be here to, winning environment, Van, fantastic. Just they're real estate agents, they're business owners. There's a lot of realtors in there now lately because of what I'm offering. Just giving advice on what's working, what's not working. We all sort of share and get better together. If I scroll back up to the top, we go into the classroom. There is the Google Ads Masterclass. So in this community here, you get a 5-week masterclass. It's about 24 hours of content. It's distilling everything I've learned to run real estate ads for my real estate team to generate 118 million in sales off 92K in spend. So you can go through here, you can watch all the different videos, you can interact with people in the community about like what video resonated with you, what's working, what's not working. You can go into the Google Ads Pro Kit. So this Pro Kit has a cheat sheet, meaning it's a Google sheet that will show you industry specific how to structure your campaign. There's a really built out real estate tab there because obviously I know that one the best. You can get a Google Ads credit up to 3,600 Canadian, which is about $3,000 is the offer for US. You have to have a brand new account and you have to use this link when creating your account. I cannot stress that enough. And then we've got an audit library too. So different realtors, online jewelry stores, landscapers, wedding photographers. I've gone through and I've done a full audit of these people's campaigns and recorded it. They were 20 to 40 minutes long. I just break through like A to Z what is wrong with the campaign and how to fix it. And at the end, I give them like 3 or 4 action steps, do this, this, this. And then when they get off the call, they can just go correct their campaign and like turn it around like that day. So you can go see that stuff and learn on your own. And then there's the calendar. So in here, there's 2 calls per week. There's no calls this week because it's Christmas. But starting next week, 10 a.m. MST, so 9 a.m. PST on Tuesday and on Thursday. It's a Q&A call with me. You can share your camera, get on, tell me what's going on, and I'll unstick you. You just say, hey, this is not working, or this is working, or what should I do? And I'll just tell you exactly how I would solve that problem, and you can just start getting results a lot faster. So here we go here. Let's go back to this. Perfect. So time for the crazy offer. So the monthly course, this is the monthly side for the masterclass. You get the full course worth about 7K. You get one of those 2 Q&A calls. So you get the Tuesday call if you're on monthly. You get the Pro Starter Kit, which has up to the $3,000 US credit. You get the campaign audit library. You get the cheat sheet. And then those Q&A recordings, if you're in a market where the time zones just don't match up, which some people in the community are, and you just can't be on a call at like 3 in the morning, then you can watch those recordings, or if you're doing a deal or have a meeting or something like that, and you can submit questions beforehand and I'll make sure to answer them so that you go back and listen to the recording and you'll actually see the answer even if you can't attend. So total value on the monthly side is just under 15K per month. I do not sell it for that. I sell it for $4.99 per month with a risk-free money-back guarantee of 14 days. Basically, just try it out for 14 days. Go to the Q&A call, check out the starter kit, use the ad credit. All that stuff is cool. If at the end of the 40 or 14 days, it's not for you, literally just ask for your money back and I'll give it. I have zero interest in keeping people's money if they don't see value. So yeah. Or if you want to jump all in and get some extra bonuses that are only available with the annual, $6,000 for the year annual, same 14-day money back guarantee, but you're going to get a bunch of bonuses that the monthly doesn't have. First one is a one-on-one strategy call with me. So I'll sit down with you for a full hour. We'll talk about your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, and we'll just basically build a game plan on how to accomplish that, which is going to really set you aside. You get a complete campaign audit if you have one existing, which I'll walk through exactly what's wrong with the campaign and how to fix it, provide you a link with the recording as well. If you don't have a campaign, you can take that campaign audit later if you like. 2 weekly Q&A calls, so you get the Tuesday call as well as you get the Thursday call as well. And then you get that ad tool as well. So the tool that I showed you where I created the ad copy for the ad, you'll get that too. And then the last one here is a bonus that I can only offer during the Q&A, only about a 15-minute window. So white glove search ad campaign creation. I will go in your Google Ads account and I will create a campaign with the 2 strategies that work extremely well. These are real estate strategies, though I can do this for other industries too. But this strategy has worked so well. I have not seen a time where it does not work. And I can only offer this for 15 minutes. Will I put a timer up here in a little bit? Because I can't basically do this for an infinite number of people. I feel like my capacity is probably 5 new customers for this per week, which is what we're hitting. So next 15 minutes only. I cannot stress how unscalable this is, but I really know that when I set these campaigns up, I know that I'm going to get people a lot better results. So the total bonuses are just under 21K for the annual side. But I'm definitely going to do better than that. It is Christmas. I want to get people to get some results. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slash the price in half. So $29.99, so just under 3K will get you white glove campaign creation and all the bonuses on the annual side. Or if you want to go for the monthly, of course, you can do that. But the annual side is just jam packed. The way you sign up is you go to school.com/ads masterclass. If you're an existing customer and you're not on annual and you don't have the white glove, go to settings, payments, and then click upgrade. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a timer up. So this timer is going to be how long the white glove search ad campaign creation is going to be available for. I'm going to click start. I'm going to open up the Q&A, and there we go, off to the races. So just go back here. Perfect. Okay. So, Michael, do you need to develop a website prior to starting a campaign? I heard it's not a good idea to run ads to a subdomain. So, running ads to a subdomain is cool. It just has to be like a legitimate website. If you're in real estate, there's a bunch of different options that have have ads, not ads, sorry, landing pages like built in for the creation, like Lofty, Commissions Inc. There's a bunch of them that do that. Go HighLevel has a really great platform as well that I've sent real estate leads to that converts really, really well. But yeah, you need somewhere to send the traffic to so that you can actually capture their information and then follow up with them and convert them into a customer if they're real estate. If they're not real estate, it's a little bit different question. But Michael, if you're not in real estate, put into the Q&A and give me a little bit more information and I can answer that a little better. Kirk, how much weight for converting ads is based on your website? We use Lofty and of course like our site, but what's the matrix we use? I love Lofty. I use Lofty for my real estate website. I've been using it for 6 years. How much weight for converting ads is based on your website? It's based on the landing page. So the thing that most people get wrong is the alignment between what they're searching and what the ad says and then what the landing page says is crap. Like for example, if that for that Los Angeles listings, that Los Angeles campaign when it's Zillow, let's say somebody searched Zillow, they're looking for Zillow, and then my ad comes up and it says, use us or get listings that are not on Zillow, and you're like, oh, you click over, and then it's an advertisement for oil filters. Like that's not going to convert. But if you had a landing page that they clicked onto that said, here, sign up for our VIP buyers list, listings that aren't on Zillow, listings of customers of clients of ours that are thinking of putting their house on the market, sign up here. Like that's going to have a higher sign up rate because you're offering them something they can't get elsewhere. But you want to have a website operating, and Lofty is my personal favorite one to set these campaigns up with because I know how well they crush. Kurt, additionally, I like learning the direct Google ad, but do you feel Lofty's do it for you is sufficient, or would you suggest do everything through Google Ad Manager directly? I've had quite a few of my customers now use Lofty and use some other agencies to set it up. Like, I don't want to throw shade, but I think they use really generic strategies like, you know, home listings in Vancouver or home listings in Los Angeles. They kind of set it up and forget it. What I do for this white glove campaign creation is I will set up the campaign and then I will, with a strategy that I know crushes. I've been doing it for 14 years and my average lead cost is like $1. And then what I'll do is I'll optimize it over 4 weeks. So my goal is to get your lead cost as low as possible over the first 4 weeks. And then once it's lined up and I'm like, okay, it's scaling the way that I want it to, I will pass it over to you. And then you can come to the Q&As twice a week if you need more help. But my goal is to get it to the point where it doesn't require a lot of tweaking, but you understand what needs tweaking because I'll film Loom videos every week during that optimization phase and say, okay, here's what I'm fixing. Here's how I fixed it. Here's why. So that as you get transitioned into doing it yourself, you actually have just something that's functioning well and you just have the minor tweaks here and there. Keith,
Well,
when
before you jump in there and just, I can already see the difference specific versus generic. This makes sense. Thank you from Kirk in the chat.
oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Awesome. When I use Zillow, I like looking at the integrated Google Maps function. Is there a way to get Google Maps integrated into your ad or a way to compete with people who are looking for Google Maps with houses for sale in it? Yeah, there's a number of ways to do that. It's not like a traditional search ad necessarily, but there's locations. If you have a location that is a Google My Business verified location, meaning they've sent you their postcard that has like that code on it, so it's verified, then you can use that as an asset in your ad. So in the same way that I showed you, there'd be site links that are clickable below, you can actually have the asset be the location. So if you're in like Los Angeles and they search that Zillow thing, it says, listings faster than Zillow, or yeah, listings faster than Zillow. And then on the bottom, it actually has an address that's in LA that's your like brokerage address. So you can do that. But that's an interesting question too. Andrew, Victoria, BC. How you doing, pal? How does the Google credit work? So Google Ads credit is in the premium community. There's a link there, and you have three options. It's anywhere in Canada, it's 600, 1200, or I believe 3600 is the credit. The way it works is you have to create your account, your new account off of that particular specific link right there, attach a credit card to it. And then what you do is you spend in the first 60 days of that account being active, will determine your credit. So if you spent, 3,600 and you selected option C, you get between 1,800 and 3,600 back as a credit, meaning you spend that amount in 60 days and then they'll just literally credit it back onto your account. They're doing it to try to acquire new customers, of course, but it's a freaking amazing deal if you don't have a Google Ads account already. Andrew, the page with the tiles picking descriptions, titles, what did the number represent in the upper right-hand corner, i.e. 48 of 90? Good question. Very technical. That is number of characters. So there's a character limit on headlines of 30, and there's a character limit on descriptions of 90. So that's what that means. Michael, I am in real estate with EXP, have a subdomain with EXP. Okay, so I assume you're on the enterprise version of EXP's Lofty, which we've used a lot. Those subdomains work really well. It may make sense to add a branded domain for like 10 bucks or 15 bucks a year. But if you did the white glove setup, I would advise on that and just do what's best. Ultimately, I want to get the best return on investment and get the best sign up rate. If you're sending clicks there and it's costing money, I'd rather you just have more people sign up than less. So I would tell you exactly how to do that, and I would set that up for you. So Amy, what is the average ad spend you recommend? I know this can vary by location. Yeah, it does vary. I'd say I'd average between 500 and 1,000 per month in ad spend, particularly in that first month. That first month, probably 1,000. The first month is going to be the least efficient the ads ever are. You're going to pay more per click. You're going to pay more per lead. That's the optimization phase, which most people quit or don't get any leads ever. But once you start getting leads, you can start to optimize doing the tactics that I would optimize for. And then I would show the white glove people in a video, like, here's what I'm doing and how I do it. But 1,000 a month, I think, is a really good starting point for real estate. If you're in a different industry, it can vary, but 1,000 a month is a good place to start in general. Rick, I also use Lofty and have a large team of about 16 agents. Can we have the Google Ads leads route through Lofty? Abso-freaking-lutely. I know that system extremely well. I'll show you exactly how I would do it. You can actually do different weighted lead routing in there. Really powerful stuff in Lofty. So yeah, we can talk about that offline, right, for sure. Kimberly, how do you feel about Wix websites? If this is a real estate question, I would use a website that can have an IDX feed, like a Lofty or a Real Geeks or a Commissions Inc. or something like that. If it's an e-commerce type thing, I think Wix could be fine. I personally, if it's real estate wise, I wouldn't use a Wix website. But if you could put a little bit further information in there, I'd be happy to answer it. Rick, I paid 1,200 per month with Lofty leads and the results were horrible. That's why I'm here with the master. Let's go. Rick signed up for White Glove not too long ago, so I'm super excited to get him rocking and rolling. I think we have a meeting on the 26th. I think we're doing the coaching call on the 26th, Rick. So I'll see you then, right after Christmas. Joe Hughes, do the ads integrate with KV Core EXP? Absolutely. We actually have I have two clients right now with White Glove in their first 4 weeks of optimization that I'm using KV Core for. So we're getting that dialed in for sure. Jason, do you have any concerns with the upcoming TCPA or whatever it's called? A lot of SEOs are fear-mongering that the sky is going to fall. Costs are going to go up because mega teams and portals flooding Google Ads. The sky's been falling my entire 14-year career in real estate. So I put my head down, I get to work, and I do the things that work. And I've always been able to generate leads at a reasonable price. And as long as myself and my agents pick up the phone and genuinely try to connect with these people and help them, they do real estate deals and they make money. So when times change, we adapt, but I have no concerns that people will need realtors in the short term. That's for sure. Michael, for real estate, if you think a budget is less than 1,000, closer to 500, it wouldn't yield good results. Not true. Not true at all, Michael, man. I started at $5 a day, which was 150. This is 14 years ago, but I started at $150 a month. And I do have actually a couple white glove clients that are doing 500. It's just going to take a little bit longer to get it going, but 500 a month is still something you can work with. I just wouldn't do it for less than that. Like if somebody wants to spend 200 or 300 a month, it's like it's going to chew through their budget too quick. But 500 a month, you can do it. The real goal here is to get that first deal. If you get that first deal in like a month or two, all of a sudden you're in the green, then you can reinvest in it. But I get that money can be tight until you have that return. So 500 is definitely doable for sure. Um, Patrice, what other questions are in the chat that I can't click on?
Well, I wanted to ask the magical question about keywords. You talk so highly of them, the research planner. How frequently should we be updating those? Is that like a one and done? Like leave it, walk away, we're good to go? Should we be coming back frequently when something breaks? How often should we be fixing up our keywords?
Keywords are basically the foundation of a real estate campaign for me. So if I don't know the keywords, I actually can't create the campaign. That's one big mistake people make is they create a campaign and then they try to find keywords when the keywords are going to inform what the campaign says, like what the ad copy and the offer is. So I personally, if I set the campaign up, you're not going to have to change the keywords because that's what I would do is I would implement a strategy that just has the keywords built in. If you're doing it on your own, spend a lot of time. It's kind of like prepping to paint. If you just start painting, it's going to look bad, right? But if you prep and you spend like 90% of that time taping everything off and sanding and making everything good, when you start painting, you'll actually get a really good result really fast. So spend a lot of time thinking about the keywords are going to be, and then create a campaign around it. And if you're not getting impressions, then the issue is probably that your cost per click is too low. You're not willing to pay enough money, or there's no impressions. There's not enough people searching that keyword phrase. So you really need to find keyword phrases that a lot of people search. Amy, what is the average time it takes to get new leads on a new account? Great question. In my experience with the white glove, within the first week, I've gotten leads for almost everybody. Within the first 2 weeks is usually what the expectation is. It really depends on the search volume, but within that first week or 2 weeks for sure. Jason, what are the best months for lead flow and the worst months? Can you give a top three and a bottom three? No. I know you want a more I know you want a better answer than that, but oftentimes people get in the weeds over like what's best, this or that. It's kind of like sending emails. When should I send people emails? Well, I'll tell you one thing. Sending an email or picking up the phone and talking to somebody is infinitely better anytime you do it than trying to find the perfect time and then not doing it. So I'd say do it, test, and then over time you'll get a benchmark of what works in your particular market. Angie, do you also focus on SEO heavy content on the website to help increase the ad performance and organic search results? We do some of that, but honestly, when you're sending a lot of traffic to a website and it's a real estate website like the main one that I have, the really cool thing about it is when somebody signs up for an account, we automatically send them emails of the kinds of listings that they want to see. That brings them back to the site, and their average time on site's pretty long because they're looking at real estate listings. That's a good signal for Google of, hey, this person keeps visiting the site and spends a lot of time. That will cause you to organically rank over time. So the SEO play is just one that can continue to be evolving. I find the pay-per-click or the Google Ads play just always works, and then you'll get an SEO bump over time just because of a lot of people visiting your website. Raj, oh, another white glove guy that I'm setting up on Friday. Let's go. How much time should we be spending on Google Ads per week after we take over from the white glove service? Phenomenal question. Very, very good question. So what I would do is I would make sure to at least get through the entire masterclass over the next month or two. So maybe do a video, a 30-minute video or so per day, just so you understand the foundations. When I do the white glove setup for you and I create your campaign on Friday, I'm going to create a Loom video and say, hey, Raj, here's what I set up. Here's the strategy. I'll talk to you next week. And then every week on the Thursday, I'm going to go through your account, see how it's working, and then optimize it and tell you what I did and send you another video. So ultimately, once it's dialed in, just going and looking at it and knowing whether it's going in the right direction or the wrong direction. So, half hour a day, 10 minutes a day, really depends. Some days you don't need to look at it. But when you're first starting, you're probably going to look at it every day for a period of time. I know I did for years, but now I don't even look at my campaigns every month as long as they're performing, honestly. But yeah, good question. 20 seconds left for the white glove. Patrice, give me one more question. Let's go.
I was going to pull the one up about budget, but you've answered that already, and everyone's asked it so many times. Yeah, I think we have answered all the ones in the chat, honestly, because everyone was really good about pushing those over. Yeah, the KV core, average ad spend. I think we've got everybody's question covered, which is amazing. There's one more in the Q&A tab here from Rick.
Right. So the Tuesday and Thursday calls are what I believe is the same time as my team meeting. Bummer. That's 10 a.m. MST or 9 a.m. PST. There is a recording as well for sure, Rick. Cool. Appreciate the Q&A with everybody. So special gift, everybody that stayed to the end. We've got some gifts that we give away sometimes each week, and I've got a really, really cool one at the very end, which Patrice is going to help you be entered for. So you get the Google Ads Starter Kit if you're just on the call. You get the cheat sheet and you get the audit recording library. There's a couple audits in there, not all of them. Those are in the paid community. If you're just not ready to like buy something now, but you want more free value, go check out that cheat sheet. It's something I built over 14 years to how to structure a campaign, and it's industry specific. So if you're in real estate, you can see how to do it in real estate. If you're not in real estate, it's got a bunch of other industries as well. And you can see the audits. You can see sort of how I would audit something. It's just a really good way to get your head wrapped around how to do this. So the big one that we're giving away, which we've never given away, is 3 months access to the paid community and 1 year access to the tool. So the way that you're going to be entered for this is the same way you're going to be entered for the other, or not entered, but how they're going to get the bonuses that I just said before. So type in the chat right now, there is a link that Patrice should have posted. Oh, perfect. Awesome. So click that link and then go into the community there and just type thanks, Kory, on that post. Everybody who types thanks, Kory, on that post is going to be entered to get this. And I'm not sure exactly when, but I think Patrice is going to do it very quickly and figure out who that is. And then, of course, we'll announce who the winner is. But yeah, I thank everybody for coming in on Christmas Eve. I know it's a busy time of year, getting everything done. I appreciate everybody that takes their time to do this. And Patrice is going to stay on and answer any questions you have. If you're not part of the free community, go to school.com/ads, and I will see everybody in the